Posted the story.
Hello, hello.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to some people.
The song, I think.
Yeah. Welcome to Open Shutters. Today is Wednesday,
Days are flying, buddy.
August 19th, 2020. Welcome to Open Shutter. Today is a unique day. We're gonna be awesome. Look at that. Could you hear them all the way in Ghana, Charlie? All these Ghana guys are sleeping, eh? It's like midnight out there.
Hey, could you hear them? You'll be on next, man. We're having you on next, man.
Yep. Gavin is also one of really good creator. Like, he's got some nice videos out there. All right, so guys, thank you all for joining the show today. I'm gonna do the intro since this is my channel. My name is Evans, and I'm a photographer based in Toronto. I do wedding videos, wedding photos. Every Wednesday we have this open shutter show. Myself, Paul, Serlom, and one of other guy, Brian. Brian is away this week. He's doing some traveling, so he can join us. But today is going to be exciting. We have a special guest who will be joining us very soon. So stay tuned. When he comes on, he's going to introduce himself. I'm not going to let you guys know. Those who know him, they know him, right? But it's going to be exciting, fun times, right? So Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this episode. It's going to be next level, I think. If you guys don't know who I am, my name's Paul. I run a photography meetup group in Toronto called Get Out Shoot. You can visit us at getoutshoot.com. If you haven't been to a meetup, I suggest you come out, and I do vlogs of the meetups and do vlogs of other random things that I can think of. And my YouTube link is in my handle there, so go subscribe. I'm going to drop a vlog right after this show. And I'm not sure if Brian's on, but it's with Brian. So it's a pretty random video, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And yeah, that's about it. Looking forward to the show, man. It's going to be dope.
All right. So my name is Serlom. Business name is Meek Photos. So a lot of people know me by Meek. I am a portrait and wedding photographer. I just moved to Texas from Pennsylvania. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want to collaborate, let's do it. And yes, my YouTube is Meek Photos. So subscribe to Evan's channel. If you're watching this channel and you're not subscribed, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Thank you guys.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. So as you come in, don't forget, thumbs up to the video. Let's get the message out there. Yeah. We're waiting for our special guest for today. He'll be joining. But today we are talking about getting started with portraits and weddings. For those of you here in Toronto and the Get Out of Shoot members, you guys know last weekend we had a large meetup.
I got to give kudos to Evans.
Yeah.
He did a phenomenal job just like organizing the people and leading the workshop. And that was not an easy workshop because there are a lot of things going on. So I feel bad that I couldn't help Evans, but Evans was able to like lead it successfully. So I think we might do it again. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it was very well done. There's going to be a vlog on that coming this week, so you can see.
Yeah. So like I said, we had an awesome time. A big thank you all for you guys for coming out. It was amazing. That was the first time we were doing this sort of meetup where we're teaching beginners how to start using photography equipment, lights and softboxes and stuff. And you guys came out in large numbers and supported us, and that was really great. After the meetup, a lot of you guys were messaging me asking about retouching and a whole bunch of other questions. So this week's kind of show ties into that because I have an expert on that. I may be good, but this guy's better. He's good at retouching. He's good at light setups and stuff. If you haven't seen his Instagram page, I left it down in the description of video. Check him out after the show. Follow him. He's on YouTube as well. There's a lot of stuff. So follow him as well and take a look. But I think you guys are going to love his content and his stuff. So I'm going to bring in our special guest today. Michael is in, and then he will introduce himself.
Awesome.
Hey, Mr. Don Alabi.
Yeah, what's up?
Man,
I see myself among 4 great guys here.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
thanks so much for joining us, straight from Ghana. I mean,
Yeah, I gotta say thank you, because the time difference between Ghana and Canada is like 5 hours, right? So right now, as we are sitting here and it's at 7 something, it's already almost midnight for him. But he stayed up all this
Yeah,
while
it's about
to join us, and that's great. Truly appreciate it.
thank you. Welcome to Open Cheddar.
some few minutes to over here.
So, Mr. Mike, go ahead and introduce yourself to the crew.
I this is the first question I asked my guests on my show, and today I'm being presented with the same question. Wow.
The tables have turned, man.
Tables have turned. It's not as easy.
Yeah,
Right?
they really turned. Okay. First of all, I'm glad to be among these 4 great guys, and good evening to you guys.
Good
Now,
evening.
my name is Michael from Ghana Near Photography in Ghana, Accra. And I really don't know what else to say.
Go follow.
What do you do? What kind of photography do you do?
For now, I would say I'm a commercial photographer. I do anything that brings in money, apart from funerals.
Right.
Any other thing in photography that brings money, you find me doing it.
Why not funerals?
Yeah.
Well, I like to see people happy, cheerful. I don't like, I'm not saying funerals are not good, but I don't like that negative vibe with seeing people sad and crying and stuff like that.
Awesome.
What got you started into photography in the first place? Like, what was the first kind of?
Well, I am an IT person. I'm a programmer and then a network administrator. So I worked in IT for about 20 years. Then in 2015, I decided to quit, and then I had no idea what I was going to do next. I just quit.
You just quit with no plan?
Yes, no plan, nothing. Then a friend gave me a camera, the Nikon D5200.
Okay.
I didn't know how to use it, so it was just sitting on my desk. So one time I was just lying down, then my eye went to the camera. I was like, yo, you like taking pictures with your phone and stuff, so why don't you just pick the camera and then see what you can do with it? I started taking pictures of flowers and things in the neighborhood without knowing what the exposure triangle was. I didn't know what.
Really? You had no knowledge?
Nothing. I just put it on that green down. No knowledge at all.
Oh yeah, green. Green is good.
Gavin, can you up your volume a little bit?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me check.
There you go.
Thank you.
Is it better now?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sorry for that. So I just took it out, started taking pictures of flowers and all that, and I was like, okay, now I can tell. So my first point of action was to go on YouTube and then find out what all this photography stuff is about. That's why I really take YouTube seriously now, because that's where it started for me. So I'm like, okay, let me also go back there and then give back to the community. So about 90% of what I know, I learned from YouTube and then practice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is an amazing story.
Right. So, you know what he just said actually hit something home for me, because the other day somebody was telling me that, hey, why is it that when you learn new tricks, sometimes you go and then post it for free on YouTube? And I was telling them that, look, most of what I know in photography, and I made a living off of this for a while now, is for free from YouTube. So when I'm making those videos, I feel like I'm just giving back to the community that I got from,
Right.
So, that's real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pay it forward kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pay it forward kind of thing. Who did you follow on YouTube? So who did you follow on YouTube that kind of taught you?
I used to follow this guy, Matt Granger.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And then,
Australian guy.
Yes. I used to. He had a great influence on me. And then there's this other guy, this Sony guy with his girlfriend. I always forget his name.
Money.
Manny Ortiz was one other great guy. And then there were two other these guys, these F stoppers.
F stoppers, yeah.
Yes, and then Adorama. There's this
Yeah.
Joey Gavin. That
Yeah,
guy,
Gavin,
I just like that guy.
Yeah. Gavin Owie is one of the people I started watching first on YouTube, and I still watch him today because his stuff is not like the traditional stuff. He's actually going into the basics of lighting and understanding the concept. You know, people show behind the scenes and they're just showing you how they're shooting, but this guy's actually explaining every piece as he goes along and how he gets to the final destination.
Yeah. And then this duo, Chelsea and
Tony.
Yeah, Tony and Chelsea. Those two guys, Charlie.
Yeah, they're pretty popular, right?
Yeah.
That's an amazing story that you quit your job and then you had no plan and then you had also no knowledge in photography. Usually people have kind of like a little passion for photography, but they're not ready to go full in.
Mm-hmm.
But you just started from scratch, which I think
I started from scratch. There's no history, nothing. I was like, well, the camera is just sitting there. Why don't you make good videos?
Right. Now, quick question: in like where you live, is there like a meetup scene for like photographers? Like in Toronto, where we are, there are a lot of like meetups where people get together and kind of meet like-minded people, and they share photography and all that stuff. Is there like a scene for that where you live, where people can just meet up?
It's not that common. We sometimes we try doing such stuff because we see them on YouTube, so we try doing them. I have a friend who is now in Cleveland, Ohio, and he started this thing like 5 photographers shooting 1 model and that kind of stuff. But then it's not a common thing. Once in a while, you see a couple of guys coming together to do it, but it's not common.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
So what's around you to shoot? Like besides portraits, like are there landscapes or is there wildlife? Like that you would recommend visiting?
The only wildlife I have come across is lizards and birds.
Really?
That's the only kind of.
Whenever people hear about Africa, especially people who have never been to Africa, they always think that wildlife will be the
everywhere.
Best.
Yeah, we only see lizards and birds. Even those ones. They are household stuff.
Yeah.
Then apart from that, there are a couple of guys who do architecture, but that's more like commercial, not something of fun. But their interest is mostly on weddings and then portraits.
Interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. And yeah, go ahead, Evans.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You guys
the beef of the stuff,
Yeah. So Evans and yourself have been friends for a couple of months, and Evans has been a guest on your live show. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool.
So for those who don't know, if you are bored or you really are stuck in your creative route and you want to get out of it, you need to go check out this guy's channel, right? For all of you who were asking me over the weekend after the workshop about editing skills and want to learn more about lighting and portraits, you got to go to his channel, right? There is a lot of behind the scenes. He does live streams of his photo shoots sometimes. But every weekday at about 4 p.m., there's a live show discussion similar to this with a variety of people where we limit ourselves to photography related stuff on this show on Open Chatter. But when you get to his channel on weekdays at 4 p.m., you're going to learn a lot more because he talks about the legal stuff, right? There have been times where he's brought on lawyers and stuff to talk to photographers about the legalities of being a photographer, business contracts, right? He's brought on people who knows, who are business minded to help you on setting up your business skills, right? Growing and developing your business skills as a photographer, that kind of stuff. So his channel is full of good information, especially for beginners. And that's one of the reasons why I was very keen on having him here today. Because we want to talk about getting started as a wedding or portraits photographer. And if you want to talk about being a wedding or portraits photographer, you need to talk to people who've been there. And that's what Open Shutters is about. We bring on people who have the experience and the knowledge to share so that we all grow together as a community. So Mr. Ganani, we want to know the whole journey for someone who is beginning to start, who have picked up his first camera like you did, started shooting flowers and plants around the neighborhood, and now wants to get into serious business and start to take portraits, right? What would be the first thing that you will say to them?
First of all, I'd like to find out, why are you doing photography? Is it because you've seen a couple of guys do it and they have women coming around them, or you think they are making lots of money, or it's a passion that you want to develop? So based on that, it's sad, but unfortunately, most of those coming up now do it just because they see you roll with beautiful girls and they also want that kind of living. So I tell them, if that's your plan, then you will go broke. You can't sustain it, because having women around you won't pay your bills. It won't buy you a lens. So once you make it clear that you're doing it as a business, then we move on from there. So first of all, it has to be a passion first, because if you're just doing it for money, you get to a point that factor won't hold you. It won't help you. If the passion isn't there, you're just going to go flat.
The money will come if you're passionate about them. Like, the money will come, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So Ivan, hope I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. You have. I've always said to people that when it comes to photography, it's more about, especially for me, and I've said this so many times on this channel, when I first started, I wasn't looking at the money aspect. I got into photography because I wanted to take pictures of my little girls, right? I may not have told this to many people, but I have twins. I have two girls. They were born really early. They were born at less than 30 weeks, like 25 weeks and something like that.
Wow.
And when they were born, the doctor says, their chances of surviving is very slim. They may not make it. Right. So I went out and I bought a T5 because I said, even if they are here for 2 days, I got to get as many pictures of them as I can for those 2 days. So I take my camera, my T5, I go to the hospital, stay beside their bedside, and I would take pictures. And one day, the next day, the second day, the third day, gradually, after 3.5 months of being in the hospital, they were cleared to come home, right? So they survived. Like everybody said, both of them survived, right? And today they are grown. They are 5 years old. They're running around my house disturbing me right now. But they got me interested in photography. So when I got in, it wasn't like I was going in for the money, but I was going in because I wanted to document something. I wanted to put that progress, right? So after they came home, I was still taking pictures of them every day, but like I developed that passion for photos, right? So I said, okay, let me start learning more about this camera and stuff. So I started doing the same thing, YouTube, figuring out shutter speed, aperture, that kind of stuff. And I started doing a photo shoot. So every month I was doing a photo shoot for these girls as they grow, because I wanted to document every month of their growth, right? And that's what has built me up to this point. So even up to now, even though I may be doing photos commercially, majority of the time, my main focus have not been the money, but to enjoy the process.
Always.
Right. So as I said, it's very important that you enjoy the process, because if you don't, then it becomes a hectic thing for you. I've heard most people say weddings are tough and they don't want to do weddings, right? But like I always say, weddings are tough when you are in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good answer right there. Anybody tell them you want to?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yes. I mean, just before I jump on the question about weddings, I wanted to, you guys already spoke about this already, but passion is very important. For example, Ganane, when he started his lives, I don't think I even caught the very beginning, but you know, it's like he doesn't care how many people are watching. He doesn't care how many. He's doing it, and he's dedicated to doing it every day, and he's there putting in his all. So it's very crucial that you have that passion to pull you through, and then you're gonna make it big one day, and somebody's gonna stay back and say, "Oh, he got lucky" or something like that. No, that's not how it works. So yes, passion, yes. All right, now weddings. Just like you said, weddings. You don't go into weddings for the wrong reasons. But there's one thing I have to say. When I just like most people, when you start, you might even start doing some free weddings. That's how most people start. You do weddings of like your friends or your siblings and stuff. And then you spend several hours editing these weddings that you're not getting paid for, but it's good for your portfolio. You have more stuff to show. Now, after a while, when you now have enough work to show, of course you'll be charging for all your weddings. But one thing I've learned is that if you charge properly, you don't feel the pain. If you charge properly, like for me, for example, there was a wedding I really didn't want to do. So I charged almost double what I would normally charge. And they were like, okay, they just wrote the check for me on the spot. I was shocked. At the same time, guess what? I was traveling like 8 hours, no problem. I was editing several nights, no problem. Like I didn't feel anything. I finished that wedding so quick. And I'm like, you know what? If only I got paid the correct amount, this wouldn't be as bad as it is, you know. So just price yourself right. Don't underprice yourself. Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
I have a question for Ganani. How like okay, over here, a lot of people, the clients are becoming too smart. When they're about to have their wedding, they look for up and coming photographers, right? And then they'll reach out to them and be like, hey, we have a big hall, we have a big setup, you know, you can improve your portfolio. So come and shoot for us for free. Do they do that a lot in Ghana?
Well, for weddings, they hardly do that here because mostly people's weddings are like
serious,
once in a lifetime something. So they always want to invest in not the kind of investment that this is your package, so we're ready to pay you this, but they would let's say you have your highest package as 10K, and then your lowest package as 1K. They'll pick your 10K package and they would want to pay you the price for your lowest. That's what they normally do. For that exposure kind of thing, it's mostly the celebrities. They come to you. Well, I have over 10K followers on Instagram, so do a shoot for me for free and I'll hype you. Or I have 50K followers on Twitter, so do a shoot and I'll hype you. That's what the celebrities, and these are Instagram celebrities do. Apart from them, for weddings, people really want to have the best, but they don't want to pay the best. It's like, what example can I even use? It's like, we have these small cars, and it's like they want a Bugatti at the price of these small cars. That's what they do over here.
Exactly.
It's very, very annoying.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep. So my next question will be, keeping in line with what we just talked about over the weekend with the guys that were at the lightning workshop.
Yeah.
At what point in your career did you begin to move away from natural light and begin to start to use strobes and studio lighting setups?
Good question.
Is that question to me?
Every question on this show is new today.
He's used to asking all the questions, right?
I'm getting quiet from all angles. Nice. Okay, so when I started, I was privileged to have a space to use as my studio. So I started as a studio photographer because I had my living room. I was then with my kid brother, and we had a living room which we barely used because I was always in my room. He was always in his room. So I was like, well, I could just make use of this as a studio. So after mastering some basics of the camera, I decided to get a backdrop. And with the help of, I saw some other friends how their studio was set. I was like, okay, so I don't need to buy stands and all that. I could just hang the thing on the wall like a curtain and then get the backdrop. I did that and I got a great short mini studio. Well, so I started with lights, some mini flash and all that. Like then there was no guide. So I was just thinking and then buying. I didn't have anybody to guide me and all that. Reason why I always stress the fact that when you're starting, get yourself a mentor. That mentor is going to let you know things you need and things you don't need, so you don't make useless buys. Now, let's put that aside. Since I started with studio, first thing was light. I had a large window, so I started doing natural light based on the things I saw Matranja and Co do. Then I realized, okay, I can get some strobes. I got a mini strobe and all that kind of thing. Then later I realized, okay, not everybody would want to come to the studio, or not everybody wants a studio kind of photography. Then I was like, okay, let me move it out. So I started watching this guy, Danny Diamond. He does mostly natural light. So I watched his and I was like, well, this guy shoots natural light and his pictures are beautiful because of the environment in which he is in. Over here, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures, but we have so much. Okay, this is YouTube. Some words we can't use, but we have so much mess when it comes to electricity and telephone cables. Everywhere you pass, they are just there indiscriminately like that. So, getting outdoor pictures, you would have to make use of your bokeh. Otherwise, you will just ruin your images. So then I had just the kit lens 18 to 55. So I was like, okay, for me to be able to get correct outdoor shots, I need to get at least a 50 mm. And all the tutorials I watched online, they were all talking about the Nifty 50.
Yep.
So what I did was, because then I didn't have enough money to buy a 50 mm, I sold my PlayStation 3 to get a young no 50 mm.
Wow.
And I'm a gamer, so for me to sell my PlayStation, it really meant a lot to me. So I did that, got a 50 mm. Then I started enjoying the bokeh it gave me outside. So that was when I started natural, and I loved it. I really loved it. So after using 50 mm, I was like, okay, it gives me nice portraits. Now I want something wider, a bit wider, and all that. Then I got the same Yongnuo 35 mm, and I loved it. So that was when I was like, okay, now let me mix both of them, natural lights and then strobe. And over here, it's very difficult having access to some of these things. I know with your side, you could just go. There's a place you could just go rent a strobe, use it for a day, return it, and all that. But over here, it wasn't like until recently that a couple of friends decided to come together and then do these rental stuff. So back then, you had to buy your own strobe. You couldn't just rent it, test it to make sure it works for you before you buy it. No, you had to buy it straight away. If it doesn't work for you, you're lost.
Sorry.
So I used mostly the speed lights, and then a friend had this Jimbe HD 600. So I used it for practicals and all that. So once I was okay with it, I was like, okay, now I can do both natural light and strobing.
That's awesome. Awesome work, man.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Crazy.
Wow.
You should do a workshop.
So
I had a workshop, like it's usually every 21st September, because it's 21st September is a holiday in Ghana, Founders Day. So I used to, this is the 4th year, but unfortunately because of COVID-19, we won't be able to have it physical. So it's going to be something virtual on YouTube,
Cool.
just like we have here.
Yeah.
So it was every year. And we always got about 70 people coming in every year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like one of the biggest gatherings of photographers. People coming from all over Ghana just to attend.
That's awesome.
And on those workshops, I don't teach. I only organize and then bring 5 strong guys, and it's about 99% free. So they just bring a token to get food and drinks for all those attending. There were times I had somebody from the US, Photo Niger, he sponsored 50 people. So nobody had to pay anything. We just got food and drinks for them. Just come sit down. And these guys who are the facilitators, I call them facilitators, they are friends who come in, dedicate their time to teach without even asking for $1.
That's good.
nice.
Nice. So cool.
That's beautiful.
Have you been to Canada before or the US?
I haven't stepped out of Ghana yet.
Okay. The next meetup when we can travel again. Yeah,
no problem. Once
the borders open, we need to organize something. And
oh man,
no problem.
Yep,
it's great. It's gonna be great.
It's, out here, Paul's group is what we're now. I think we're over 11,000 people.
Yeah, we're almost at 11,100 people.
Yeah.
Get out to Toronto, man.
Like
so
real people.
People.
Wow.
People.
11,000 real people. But how the whole thing works is that people will attend the events that they're interested in.
The thing with Toronto is that it's such a big city, and we have so many suburbs that surround the city that there's just so much. There's a lot more population for the meetup, essentially, because it's not the same across Canada. Like the meetup scene isn't as big in other parts of Canada, but Toronto is such a populated city, along with like all the suburbs, that's the reason why we have so many people, and also because we're free typically most of the time. So,
Well, most of the times they're free.
Oh, so unless we're doing like a workshop like with Evans or whatever, right? But to actually sign up is free. So you just click sign up, and then you basically join the group, and then you get all the info for the events and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Subscribe, eh? We need you, man. We need you on board.
No problem. Now that I know of it,
I'll give you the link.
Outside,
Next time you're in Toronto, maybe we'll just do like a meetup, and then you can.
I think we've got a bunch of international people also joining as well. We've had people who are not in Toronto, but they join, and then whenever they are in town, they head out and go out and shoot with us.
Yeah,
no problem. I'll really love to join.
That's awesome, man. Next level, man.
Yeah, the fact that you guys have most of your stuff free is great. It's like I just found a Dallas off-camera flash group, and I was so excited. But then, first of all, everything is paid. It's not too expensive, but they are booked for the next 20 meetups because they can only have so many people at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all booked till like the end of October. I'm like, I'm not gonna be on that waiting list. So I'm gonna have to start my own.
All right, man, do it. Honestly.
Yep. The reason why we're talking about meetups so much, guys, if you don't know, and even if you like in Guyanese case where it's not mostly possible to meet physically, I like what he's doing on his end, on his live streams every day. It's become more of like a meetup community group as well.
Right.
Where like-minded people come in and you share ideas and learn together. And for me, one thing I wished I had when I first started was something like that. Right. When I first started, I wish there was at that time these kind of meetups and groups did not exist that much. So you have to go out there and learn the hard way. But with these meetups and groups, when you first starting out and you join some of these, it helps to get your knowledge and your skills level up quickly. Because when we go out to the meetup, Paul will tell you, we're always out there answering questions. You have people coming up and they have questions, they have that. But it's all about that community togetherness and learning, right?
Being like a safe environment, right?
Yes, in a judgment-free environment.
Judgment-free, yeah.
Right. So there's nothing like a silly question. We have people who will come in there shooting with their cell phones. It's all allowed as long as you know how to use that camera feature on your cell phone, right? And that's what people need to look out for when it says I've jumped in and I want to start. You need to look at where your support system is going to come from, right? Where you're going to get that support to push you through the first. Because, like things that probably took me 4 or 5 months to learn, right now, I feel like if I was starting right now, it probably would take me a shorter period of time because I would have people to reach out to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The community is very important. Like the other day, I was going through some old pictures because what happens is when I was a photographer in my church for a long time. So unfortunately, when somebody passes, I'm the first person they reach out to. Do you have any pictures of this person? So I start combing through tens of thousands of pictures from weddings I did a long time ago. And I was going through some of the pictures. I'm like, man, these pictures, some of them are horrible. But then I remember when I post them on Facebook, my family and friends are always like, oh, wow, so beautiful. So it's like your family and friends do not know a good picture. They do not know a picture that's in focus and out of focus. So you have to surround yourself with people who know what a good picture is and not just go on that hype because you might think you are the bomb, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True, man. It's true.
That's one of the reasons why I choose to do some of my shoots live, because people want to interact instead of just recording a video, taking out all the bad parts and then putting out just the good parts.
Just a good, yeah.
They want to see how you even move. Sometimes you see a video of someone shooting and the light placement, you're not sure whether it's close to the person or behind it. All you see is a box in front of the person coming down. But if you're watching it live, you see them move it, you know how you can estimate how close or far it is from the subject and all that. It really helps. That's why most of my shoots, I just go live. And then these discussions, instead of just posting one person, making the mistakes, cutting them off and all that, we bring everything just live so that there's
organic
there's this sense of belonging. Oh, I was there when all this thing was happening. I saw it happening, just the way it happened. So yeah, I feel I'm part of it. And then people getting to ask questions directly instead of posting it under the comments or something like that. They get to see you, they ask, you answer, they can even look in your eyes through the camera and they're like, wow, it's like I'm talking to this person for real. That kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, and guys in the chats, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it in there, and then we will try to answer it.
Yeah.
Oh, we have about 12 people watching and only 7 likes. So please, guys, like the video.
So guys,
thank you.
Just like if you're using your phone, just close the chat. You see the thumb up, press it.
You know what? I didn't know that.
I had myself. I had that. I didn't know. I was looking like, where is the? They're like the. I'm like, where is the like? They said you see the thumbs up. I never knew until somebody mentioned that you need to close the chat before you can
see that thumbs up.
Protocol.
Thank you, Andre.
So what do you like better? Do you like shooting or do you like editing better?
Honestly, if I should choose, I prefer retouching. I would want to
Retouching.
be a retoucher, yes. But over here, it's like one person does everything, so you hardly get people bringing their pictures for you to retouch. Because one thing it has to do with pricing.
Hmm.
They undercharge just so they can secure the job. But
Right.
in doing so, they don't factor in um, what it really costs to get a job done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The
let's say
post. The
somebody
post.
charges $100 for 10 retouch portraits. Now, I, as a retoucher, would charge maybe $1 or $2 per retouch. Now, if I'm charging $2 per retouch and you have gone for $100, now by the time you do the calculation, you realize you don't
Yeah.
get much as the photographer. So they end up doing the retouch themselves because they can't now outsource it.
Yeah. Right.
That's the main problem. So we are not able to
They
um,
want the job. That's why, right?
exactly. So
They
they
want.
can't
Yeah.
really pay a retoucher, even though they like your retouching, but they can't pay you because they haven't charged well enough to be able to outsource it.
Huh. And that goes back to Meek's point of charge properly.
Yes.
Correct.
Know
And
the
that,
job.
and that, and that just leads us right into what I was going to ask next, which was at the beginning of your photography business,
Yeah.
when you are beginning to start to charge for, is Mix frozen? I think he's frozen.
I think
Am
he's
I?
probably, or he's just very still.
Oh, man.
I think he's having that Nikon battery problem again.
That night.
I really
Oh, man.
don't have that here.
I was hoping I'll survive today with that. Evans will never let me go. I'm going to buy that dummy battery the day I buy it.
But today you have support. There's two Nikon guys at the bottom, right?
Actually, let me see. I don't even know why it froze. Hold on. The battery is still good.
So as I was saying, the next question or the next section that we're gonna get into was, so we've talked about getting started, getting the help that you need, and looking at the support, right, and getting people who will support you. We've also talked about the lighting and when to get into lighting and that kind of stuff. But I also want to talk about, let's say now you've got your first client, and they have asked you, maybe come do a wedding or come do a shoot. How do you go about trying to figure out how much to charge on your first job?
Okay, so this is a bit dicey, but as I said, if you did it right by getting a mentor, that mentor would have already coached you on how to charge. Now, the first thing I watched when I decided to start doing weddings, I watched a video. I've forgotten his name, but there's this guy. He looks like Jet Li. He had a workshop on wedding photography, how to charge and all that. So I paid attention to that part. So it had to do with your cost of doing business, how much it will cost you to, there's a lot of calculation, but basically your transportation, your retouching, the gear you're using, will you need assistance? How much is that assistant going to take? And everything. You can even add your laundry, your everything to it, feeding and all that. Then once you get that, you're like, okay, so it costs me, let's say, $500 to shoot one wedding. Now you add your profits, your retirement plan, or if you're planning to buy a new gear or replacing that gear, you look at how much that gear costs. Then a percentage of that goes into every wedding you shoot. So
Right.
essentially, you're trying to look at it this way. All right, if I shoot this wedding and then I lose this gear, will it be worth it?
Right.
Will I be able to, get replacement or something? When you start, that's what comes to mind. So you calculate all that. So if at the minimum you realize, okay, it cost me $500 to get this wedding done, then you're like, okay, so all these things added, maybe I should add $500 more to it to make it 1,000. So for my minimum package, I'm going to charge $1,000.
$1,000. Just base
Yes,
price.
yes. So you start building on that based on the number of hours, the
Yeah.
deliverables,
Right.
how big the wedding is, and all that
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Then when it comes to portraits, it's the same thing. If let's say in my case, I had a studio to start with, so I didn't have to pay studio rental and all that. So I calculate, okay, now the rent comes in. If I was to be paying for a studio space, maybe they charge me $10 an hour. So I add that to the price. Then when I'm done, I have to sit down and retouch. I'm going to use the internet to send it to them. I'm
Yeah.
going to use electricity to power my thing. So I make it like, okay, assuming I don't have a comfortable place at home and I have to go sit at a cafe to do that, this is how much they charge. So I put that on the price
Right.
plus maybe some profit. So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do it for family or friends, barring all the profits and all that, if it costs me $50 to get this job done, well, I'm doing it for you for free. Just give me that $50 and I will
Right.
do the job for you. Because that I call it the cost of doing business.
Yep. Of course. It's important. It's important to know the cost of doing business. It's a
Yes,
business
so
now, right? So
yeah. So once that is taken care of, then now you can start thinking of adding your profits or your branding. Let's say, okay, I don't want to look cheap, so whatever my cost of doing business, I'll triple it to get my base price.
it's good, man.
Awesome.
Don't be afraid to charge, right? Because you gotta know the work. You gotta know the
Yeah,
work.
the thing is, over here, there are, I don't know if it's universal, but over here there are certain clients. If you charge them, let's say $1,000 for a service, they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like, it's too cheap. It's too
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
And there are
There's a
certain
balance.
clients also. You charge them 500, and they're like, whoa, you're too expensive.
There's a balancing. There's a balance.
Yes, so
There's a
you need
balance
to
in there.
find the balance. And then when that happens, your client base, that's when you need to decide who do you want to serve? Do
Yeah.
you want to
Yep.
serve, this class, or you want to serve this class? Because you
Yeah.
can't serve both.
Yeah. True. It's a great point. It's a really good point on that. Hey, Meeks, you're back.
Yeah, Mick,
Yeah.
welcome back. My name
Yeah,
Alright.
it's over though. But the show's
I
over.
had to switch from the 4Cam to the
Yeah.
Nikon utility. So Nikon utility has saved the day.
We should do a video.
Oh,
We should do a video on it.
well, they couldn't save my day because it doesn't work.
Yeah,
for my
I'm
day.
so sorry about that, man. I know you are still but hurt about that.
I am pained. I'm really pained.
Oh man.
Yep.
Right.
So I think Kim has a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it up now. Kim says, I have to buy a new monitor to make editing better to see. Any recommendations?
With what I've noticed, when it comes to monitors, I keep saying this, that over there, you guys are fortunate to have all these manufacturers. Over here, it's like, this is what's there, take it or leave it. You can't even test it. You can't try it. Like, there's nothing. There's no review. You have to depend on reviews from outside. So let's say Evans does a review on maybe a monitor, then I have to watch what Evans has, not somebody in Ghana under this climate and all that, maybe where he got it. Now, Evans tells me he got it from Amazon. Amazon to Ghana is a whole different story. So most of these brands that are specifically for retouching, we don't get them here unless you have somebody there who can send them to you. So we make use of the normal standard monitors. The only thing that we do to make things better is we calibrate them
Yeah.
so that they work for us. Because I use a Samsung 27-inch here, and I believe you guys over there will be like, Samsung for editing is a no-no. Maybe you need an ISO or something like that.
Right.
Good, but I use a standard Samsung monitor here. But because I've calibrated, and I use it with a MacBook.
Yep.
And one thing I say also is MacBook comes with like by default, it comes with good colors. You don't necessarily need to calibrate them, as opposed to Windows. Okay, we won't start under Mac Windows.
Mac versus Windows.
I just had to mention it. Out of the box, Mac gives you close to correct colors than Windows. So the first thing I say is calibrate your screen. So the easy way of doing that, and I think it's a bit easy and lazy, but it works for me. I take a picture, put it on my Mac screen, the same picture on my monitor. So I look at them, and then I adjust my monitor, the brightness, the saturation, and all that, so that the images match from the MacBook to the monitor. Once that's done, I know it's a lazy and then fast way, but it works. We don't have the spiders and stuff that we can use over here, so we have to use our eyes and all that to do that. So I have a cheap monitor, but it gives me the exact color. So once I'm done, I have an iPad and then I have an iPhone. So I transfer all to those devices. I look at them like on the same plane to see how the colors differ. So once I'm able to get a balance, then now I'm confident that whatever I see on my monitor is what's going to show on the client's devices.
It's a great hack.
Kimberly, if you can get, I think Evans can tell you some of the branded monitor. Unfortunately, we can't get them in Ghana, so I don't even deal with brands. I just get something that's good, and then I calibrate it to my taste, and then I use it. Could you hear them? I see you, eh?
So, Kim, for me, for the longest time, I have just used a regular desktop monitor. I've been using one HP monitor for years. But what I have always done is I have a Spider 5 calibrator. So I love Ganani's way of doing this because it's very practical. And I've always told him this. He's very practical. Like, he will make do and make anything that he has in his hands work. However, he has to get it to work. And
that level of creativity is very good. You got to find a way around it.
Right? And I know that there's been this battle about monitors and color accuracies and all that stuff. But once, like I've always said, it all depends. You know the limitations of your monitor. You know how to get it working, and like Kennedy does, get it working that way. That's good. So you can technically use any monitor as long as you know how to get it to represent colors as accurately as you want to see them, right? Most of the stuff that we are doing for weddings and portraits, we're not doing color critical stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I've had a couple of color critical jobs where it has to match color for color. And in those cases, I use two tools. I use the Spider calibrator for my monitor, and I also use a color checker passport. The color checker passport, what I do with it is when I'm shooting, have it in the frame, shoot the first frame with it. And in Lightroom, you create a profile using that. And you just apply that profile to all the pictures to get the colors accurate to start with.
Right.
But you don't need that. Correct. Capture One does the same thing. Michael is a Capture One ambassador, you know?
Very soon to be official.
About the color calibration tool, one thing I did when I started was I sent it to a lab. I sent it to Mixbook, and I sent one picture, I think one or two, and I checked that I want them to do the color correction and everything on that. So what happened was they sent me two pictures. It didn't cost, it was like $5 or so. I printed 5x7 pictures. So when they sent me those two pictures that they professionally color corrected and everything, I will now hold that picture up to my monitor and adjust it just like Ganania did. Adjust it until it looks just like that picture. And then now when I send them pictures to print, I don't check the color correct box and I pay less and the colors come out correct. So
yeah, so
I'm an advocate of use what you have.
Use what you have.
You gotta beat the system somehow. Yeah, I don't have a spider. It's just one of those things that like every time I'm about to buy, this thing is way too expensive. This thing should be like $20.
How much? The spider is you're looking at around $200 and something and over.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or you?
Yeah. For me, I have it. I hardly use it these days, and even the color checker, I hardly use it. I got that for a project. because the project needed something. It needed color accuracy, and if I like what I did at that time is I didn't care because I built it back to the project.
Yeah.
And then it became mine after the project, and it's been here. But I don't use it. Like I said, I've hardly calibrated. So once you get started in editing, and you know that this is what I'm looking for, you aim for that colors and you get it. For weddings and regular portraits, you do not need to go spend expensive amounts of money on a monitor. I recently upgraded my monitor because I needed to, right?
You need it.
I went out and I got a BenQ, what they call one of those designer monitors, which is factory calibrated. And that's why I've only been using this for maybe less than 2 weeks. That's what you're seeing in here in the frame, because I haven't been able to mount it yet. Usually I mount my monitors so I can shift them out the way when I'm doing video.
What's the size?
It's a 27-inch.
Oh, okay, same as
right. But like I said, for someone getting started, if you're not making money, first place, if you're not doing color critical jobs, right? You don't need all of that. Get yourself any monitor and try to calibrate the colors as much as you find. Compare it to your phone and see what you get. That's critical.
Your clients use their phones, so how to know if you're seeing the right colors after editing? Send to your phone, especially on iPhone, and then just look at it. If it's different, then you know you need to work on yours. So just hold your iPhone close to your screen, like side by side, and then just adjust your saturation or your colors. Reds, mostly you need to bring down the reds a bit, otherwise your system gives you a desaturated color profile. So in editing, you think your image is washed out. So what happens is you end up saturating it, and when you view on your phone,
it's too saturated.
So that's
what about I want to ask a question about that. I don't know if you've seen it, Ghana, but I feel like a more recent trend. Some photographers I've known for a while these days on Instagram, more saturated pictures are getting the likes. Is that have you noticed that? Like the intense colors.
I've noticed it, but from the beginning, I don't know if it's because of I was using a Windows laptop, a Dell, until I realized it was really giving me. I thought actually I was getting nice images and all that, and then I wasn't using an iPhone too. Later, I got an iPhone. Then I realized my colors were like what we call gone. They were like red, always saturated. So I started desaturating my colors by default. So I take an image to capture one. The first thing is saturation, -10. So, and then my clients, my peers, they all were like, you like desaturating your image? I was like, yeah, my eyes got used to desaturated images. But then along the line came by clients and all that who like wanted vibrant images and all that. So I was like, okay, I won't add vibrancy or any of those things. I'll just stick to the original colors from the camera. I won't desaturate that -10. I took it off now. So it's at 0. But I won't add more colors, especially with the sky. I am yet to work on an image and then do sky replacement or sky saturation. No, I love the color of the sky. So when I'm shooting, if the sky is not flattering, I don't shoot it at all. I shoot.
See, you're in Ghana. Ghana always have beautiful skies. Over here, there are times when we are struggling to get a nice sky.
Come to Texas.
Yes, I heard Texas is like Africa. I mean,
man, it's just like Africa, man. People don't understand. It's like I'm working out free. Everybody's inside in the air conditioners. Weather is nice. Why are you inside? And then this is the worst part. You go inside any store or office, it's very cold in there. I'm like, why do we have nice, beautiful weather outside and we have to be freezing whenever I walk into a store?
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So that leads us into the next phase. So, Mr. Ghana, I know you are a really good retoucher.
I'm trying.
What advice will you give those of us who are now beginning to learn to go into retouching? What tips and little advice will you give us for
Wow.
beginning
Retouching.
to?
Okay, the first thing I will say is don't try looking for shortcuts.
Hmm.
These days, well, if your client base is about the plasticky images, I understand, because at the end of the day, the one paying you has a great effect on your output, unless you're doing it like just as a passion. You don't want people paying you. Let's say you choose what you want to shoot, fine. But if you're doing it commercially, you would have
Yeah.
to pay attention to what your clients want. Now, with that being said, let's say mostly these are celebrities, especially the Instagram celebrities, those
Mm-hmm.
Instagram hungry celebrities. They want those pictures for hype or a specific reason.
Yeah.
So you end up taking a picture of someone, and she says, "I want you to increase this part, reduce this part," that kind of thing. And you end up having pictures of people. You see people, and then they don't. They are. I call them kneeless people. Their knees have all been photoshopped off. One thing I take into consideration is I tend to go natural. If you
Mm.
have something, every human being, your knuckles automatically, whether you're white or not, the colors of your knuckles will be more saturated than your normal skin. So all these things you need to pay attention. If somebody has a mark on their, for instance, I have a stitch here. I got hurt sometime and they had to stitch it. This mark is going to be there until I do plastic surgery. So if you take a picture of me, you don't have to take it off
Hmm.
because it's part of me. It's going to be there. So if something is not going to be there for the next 2 weeks, fine. Maybe it's a pimple or something that will go away in 2 weeks. Fine, you can take it off. So just try and keep your images natural, unless, of course, the clientele you've decided to deal with, that's what you do plastic surgery in Photoshop for them.
Yeah.
Then we understand. So, one, go natural as much as possible. Go natural.
Hmm.
Two, don't try using shortcuts. These are how do you call it, plugins and stuff.
Hmm.
I won't mention names, but we know them. You just take it, slide, and
Slide,
boom,
slide.
you get a smooth image. Then you add this what sharpness, and it brings out these dots on the face.
Yeah.
Do brushing, add sharpness, and then go the right way.
Hmm.
Don't use learn how to do the stuff. Don't depend on actions. Actions have been created to help you, not to replace what you should. There are people who do frequency separation. They use actions. They don't even know the idea behind frequency separation. They just use actions and all that. If you do that, you will get stuck. So if you have a new machine, or your machine gets messed up and you have to use someone's machine, you can't retouch because that person hasn't got the actions you have, the
Hmm.
plugins and all that. So you need to learn. Dodge and burn. People use dodge and burn and they don't even know how to create those two layers, the dodge and the burn layer. They don't even know that it just has to do with the curves adjustment layer.
True,
You
man.
get it? So learn the
Yeah.
basics.
Learn.
Learn how
Put in
to
the
create,
work, right? Put in the
yes,
work.
learn how to create these basic stuffs. Then once you know how to do them, you can decide to use all the actions you want and all that. But then learn to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Understand the
Evans,
process.
I hope our people are listening. Just learn the basics.
Yep.
Just
Don't
yeah.
don't try using shortcuts. You know, don't use shortcuts. So it comes back to Ivan's point. Charge right.
Because
I think that was it was Mick. Mick who made I said he charged, he was like,
Yep.
okay, just
charge
I
right.
paid and he was happy. So charge right. If you charge right, you won't mind sitting down for 10 hours doing dodge and burn on one picture because you charged right. You
Exactly.
see?
Exactly.
Yes, if you
So
don't
important.
charge right, you want to use shortcut to just finish it quick and then move to the next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Catalyst, welcome to the discussion. That's
Yo,
one guy
Catalyst,
that we would have to get here one time too.
Yeah, he's not far from you. I'm sure we just I don't know if I always say the train, but I was told the train doesn't really work like that over there. I thought, as we see in movies, you just sit on a train and boom, you're in the next state.
Well, you can though. You can. It depends on which line.
Depends, right?
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, I'll just take the bus. There's a bus that runs all the time
Yeah.
between Canada and the US. Greyhound.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Nice. That's so. You guys should get Catalyst there with you. Then let's see the magic.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. So this show is usually 1 hour.
Want to go to bed? Like
I have a question. I have a question for him.
I mean, I'm fine if you guys want to keep going. So
Yeah, he's the Ghanaian is the one I'm worried about. I know he's tired. It's late over there.
I'm okay. I had a nap.
Okay. You prepared. You prepared for this. Okay, that's good. So my question to you is.
I was before the show.
Oh, okay. My question to you is, on a normal shoot, how many pictures do you give your model? If it's a TFP shoot, like a time for print, it's not a commercial shoot or anything, you just want to do a concept and a model volunteers. On average, how many pictures do you deliver to the model?
Okay, so when I started, I could shoot and then end up giving all the pictures to them. That's about 50, 60 pictures. I sit down, do frequency separation, submit all. Because then it was just something for passion. So I had all the time to do all that I had to do. But then now, because time is money, it's a business I'm running. On the minimum, my packages start with 6 retouched photographs. No, nothing like on retouched, let's say soft edit or something. No, all the pictures I give out are retouched. Now with the retouched, because the thing is, if you're a retoucher, it will be very difficult for you to just take a picture, maybe just do color correction and send. You would always want to remove that blemish or take off this or work on the skin tone and all that. So even when they are like, oh, don't edit it, just send it to me like that, I end up editing because I don't. It's like you can't just let your baby go out naked. You have to dress that baby so that.
I like that thing. I use that. Yeah,
it's still your work, you know. It's still your work.
Exactly. Even without my logo, I don't feel comfortable just giving it out like that. So I on the average between 6 and 10. So if you want more, I have a charge for more, and I always make sure they always pay for extra pictures, because if I shoot you 10 pictures, you most definitely like 9. The other one maybe just it could be the same pose twice.
I like that, man. Yeah, it makes sense though.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So key, man. Because you want to make sure that your work represents yourself, right?
Right. It's like I always get people saying, "Oh, just send me the stuff. You don't have to edit." And then what happens is, this was before. I don't do that anymore. You send it to them, and they will slap some filters on it, some horrible filters, and then the worst part is they're gonna tag you in it.
Not tag you because that's your work.
And I'm like, don't tag. That's not my work. So
exactly. I had a couple of those this week. I have people tagging me in pictures that looks like whatever I send them, they take a screenshot of it and they tag me in it.
Man,
it's like I'm looking at the post on Instagram and I'm like, this is not what I sent you. So it's like they I don't know whether they didn't know how to download it or something. It's like, somebody has gone to Google Drive and taken a screenshot of the image from Google Drive and posted it on Instagram and tagged you on it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
See, on the phone they cannot tell that it's pixelated,
Yeah, that's
That's
another thing also. So when I send a Google Drive to a client, the first question is I ask you, do you know how to use it? Because I noticed most of them will just screenshot. And I'm like, I put in so much work in this, and you just screenshot. I mean, you made me feel like I wasted time. So I first of all I asked them, Evans, is my sound loud now?
I think so.
Oh, you just might have to speak more into
yeah. Get
Yeah.
get into the mic.
Okay, okay. Let me bring it closer
Yeah.
See, there you go.
so
Yeah,
I
it
think
sounds better now.
it's better. Okay, all right. So what the first thing I do is I ask them, do you know how to use Google Drive? If it's more than 10 images,
Yeah.
I will send to you through Google Drive. But if it's less than 10, now what I do is I send to WhatsApp documents that you get all the details
Oh yeah.
intact. It doesn't reduce the.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No, WhatsApp document doesn't. It doesn't. So if you have an iPhone, you just download. I think documents. It's an app. So
Okay.
with that, when you send, you can send a folder. You can airdrop it from your Mac to your iPhone. So it goes to document. So we go to WhatsApp, send as document, and it keeps everything intact. It doesn't compress.
Mm, cool.
I gotta
Yeah,
try that.
you
First
should.
time
You
hearing
should
about
try.
that.
Yeah, so with that, if you're sending less than 10 images, when I'm sending less than 10 images, I use that. So they get every. So if they have to send it to other people, they just forward it and the quality
Right.
remains. It doesn't go off. Okay, so that's what
Cool.
and then on this, the other one, if let's say after the shoot, I didn't get time for you to stay in my studio or it was an outdoor shoot and I have to send you the images so that you do your selection. I reduce the quality, everything in Capture One, and then I put a huge preview on the image. So in case you go post it somewhere, everybody watching will know that it's a preview
Preview
image. It's
image.
not
Preview.
You did not pay for these.
yes. So that's what I do. I just put a large preview on there. So if you post it, fine. Everybody knows that. Well, you're trying to, bypass the system and then post
Yeah.
something. And also, when I send you my image, I ask you if there's any correction you want made. Let me know so that I can work on it. Don't go slap filters on. And then
Mm,
if you think you're fair and I made you a bit dark, let me know. Then I can work with it. But
yeah.
most of them, what they do is they just put filter. And I tell you, if you put a filter on, then it doesn't represent what I gave you. With my logo on, it will help. It will hurt me if I see that. So just let me know. I'm ready
Yeah.
to go back and then work on it. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I have certain people. I'm not profiling, but I have certain people that when I shoot them, I don't put my logo on because I know deep down the tendency of putting a filter
Filter.
on is high. They might do that. Yes. So I don't even put my logo, especially for paid jobs. If it's my personal project, if you're fair, I can decide to make you dark. It's my concept. But there are certain people, when they come, you know them that this person maybe has invested in creams to make herself look light skinned. So if you don't slap plenty lights on her, she will tell you you made her dark. So with that, it doesn't reflect my brand. So I'll do that, slap all the lights because I need to satisfy you and get my money. But then my logo doesn't go on. So you can use it for whatever you like, but I
Just
won't
don't
post it.
tag me in it.
Yes, I won't post it. My logo won't be on it. So
Do you have them? Yeah.
that's what
Do you have them sign some sort of contract? Like, are there
I.
like a list of things that they can and can't do with the image?
Yes, for weddings, I have a contract that
Mhm.
states specifically what you can use the image. And I stated there that if you're going to print those images,
Yeah.
request for printable size. Because the size I give you is for social media, because most of them want to
Right.
post them on social media. So
Yeah.
I optimize. Now, if it's let's say a commercial job, I give you three formats.
Hmm.
One, the full resolution at your request. And then the second one is the social media optimized one. And then one optimized for your website. Yes. So before I shoot you, I find out what do you want then doing with the images. Yes. So if you tell me, oh, it's for my website, I give you only the website optimized one.
Right.
If you tell me you're going to use it for maybe a brochure or something, I give you the full resolution based on your need. But if you, let's say after the discussion, I realize you're confused, you know, and other, you might give me problems, you might take the social media optimized one and go blow it up, which will not represent what I gave you. Then I just give you all three sides and I specify, I name them accordingly. That's something Capture One does. You can just export one image, but name it. You pick 3 different recipes and it will name them according. So you don't need to go rename and do all that.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I challenged myself to use Capture One solely for the next 1 month. I think I'm 2 weeks into it, and so far I'm loving it. The only thing is that I don't want Mix to try it, because if he does, he will quit Lightroom.
Yeah, he will. No, I want him to. You know,
I will.
Nick, you know what? I'm ready to do a one-on-one Capture One session.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Because
just let me know.
You know, I'm a Lightroom guy, right? But since I started using Capture One, there are certain things that it's taking me 1 or 2 clicks, which will take me a lot more clicks in Lightroom. And I'm just starting, but I'm picking it and I'm liking it.
So on this note, I invite you guys to Capture One. At least try it. Just try it. You know, don't fully go to Capture One. Just give it a try.
Give it a try, yeah.
If you're having problems, I have 13 good videos on just Capture One from beginning to that. If you still have problems, just get in touch with me personally. I'll take it.
Kobe Catalyst. I don't hate Capture One. You know? I don't hate Capture One. It's just, you know, who was I watching the other day? This kid, there's this young kid who does lots of big shoots. He does Beyonce and stuff. And he was doing this big shoot for Forever 21, right? And when he walked in there, everything was tethered to Capture One and all.
Exactly.
He said, this is my show. It's a Lightroom game. Switch everything to Lightroom. He will shoot, give the card to the guys, they will put it on the computers. And even though the tethering wasn't working well, because he was hired for his art, he wasn't hired for his Lightroom. So he walked in there and he did what he wanted and he created great images. You understand? So it's like if they call you, they're not going to call you because you use Capture One or Lightroom. They're going to call you for your art. And if it's good, however you do it, you make it work. But yeah.
For me, see, the thing is this: most of us, we started off Capture One, Lightroom, and because we've been using Lightroom for so many years, we're used to it, and so it's hard to change, right? So for me personally, this is not my first time trying Capture One. I've had Capture One installed on my computer for over 2 years. But because I'm so comfortable with Lightroom, every time I open Straight, I open Lightroom, right? But recently, I've tried to force myself to use it, and trust me, I'm liking it. The whole thing is this: I've been using Capture One, but I've only been using it whenever I tether. When I finish, I bring all those images into Lightroom to edit.
That's not allowed.
But now,
so that's not allowed. Oh man, and for me, it's like if there are some images that I want to really go in, I know I'm mostly going to be in Photoshop anyway, so it's just a little bit in Lightroom and then boom, Photoshop. That's why it's like Capture One, but I mean,
it's great with Photoshop. I still use Capture One with Photoshop, right?
Right.
The raw processing power in Capture One is superior to Lightroom. That's what I'm finding out.
That's true. So I do my raw processing with Capture
Evans,
One.
you are sellout.
And then
at the end of the day, right? My whole approach is whatever makes the work easy.
Exactly, and gets you the good results.
And get you the results, yeah.
So wait, you were saying you do your raw processing in Capture One?
Yes, then I move it to Photoshop. do my retouching, and my skin work, everything is done in Photoshop. And I come back to Capture One. My exports, color grading, and all that is done in Capture One. So it's like Capture One keeps everything. It's like a file management system for me, and it makes things easier because now in Photoshop, if you do your color grading, apart from saving them as lots and all that, you would have to create the same thing for all images over and over again. But with Capture One, once you do and you know what you want, you just save it as a preset or a style. So you can have one field for maybe all your studio portraits, another field for all your outdoor portraits, one other field for maybe your weddings and all that. And it makes it easier. Like, I see people exporting from Photoshop and I'm like, why do you want to, take yourself through that kind of stress? So if you're exporting 10 images, you will do it one by one in Photoshop. What if you're doing 100 images? I mean, you can just put it in Capture One, press just one button, then use the rest of the time, go play FIFA, then come back. And it's done
So
for
guys,
you.
if you're in the chats right now, the show is almost over. We are wrapping up. I posted the link. If you want to join us, you can join us to share your own thoughts as well. It's fun time now. So
I want to see you.
that whole
I know
idea.
you have to negotiate.
Yep, that whole idea of Capture One Lightroom. It's like the argument we always have about, does gear matter?
Right.
Right. If the gear makes my life easy, yes, it matters. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah. I mean,
for me,
uh-huh.
it was easier for me because I never used Lightroom. I was using ACR, Adobe Camera Raw.
Yeah.
See?
When I got introduced to Capture One, well, it took me about a month to get used to it. I had some pressing deliveries to make. When I started in Capture, I was like, where is this? Where is that? And back then, there wasn't much resource on how to use Capture One like it is today. Because even their personal accounts, they didn't have that much tutorial like they have today. And even today, most of these photographers are moving to Capture One. And once they move, then they realize how good it is. They make a video about it, telling people how good it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You get, so I won't be surprised if few weeks from now, Mick makes a video telling his people how
It's possible. It's possible. Because for me, the only thing about Lightroom now is that I know a lot of the Capture One guys do not do the spot removals in Capture One. You guys go to Photoshop to do it, but
No,
I like to,
no, it's there. No, you can do it.
so this is one of the things.
most of
It actually works better.
but most of the Capture One guys, I see you guys go to Photoshop to do it. When I watch you guys edit,
you see, I'm even planning to do a tutorial on full portrait retouch in Capture One. You can do spot removal, and for now, the new engine works so well. I think it has two processes.
So Mix, if you remember at the beginning, yeah, you remember at the beginning I was talking about your editing style and how you do everything in Lightroom.
Well, yeah.
If you get to use to Capture One, trust me, because when I was using Capture One, I think about you.
I'm happy you think about me.
No, because see, Mix have mastered Lightroom so much that he doesn't have to even go to Photoshop, right? But I'm looking at it in Capture One.
The tutorial,
and
three people messaged me. They said there's no way I did it in Lightroom because they zoomed in, they could still see good skin texture, and they're like, I did Photoshop and I faked the video, but it was all in Lightroom. But one thing I realized about Lightroom is that when you go in too much, when I zoom in too much, it's very processor intensive. It slows down my processor. Even though my processor is really fast, I just changed it. It's not very efficient for that. So if Capture One will not slow down my processor, when I'm that much zoomed in,
No. Capture One
then
doesn't.
I'll be happy. Yeah.
Capture One
It
is
doesn't do that.
more resource friendly than
Efficient, right? Yeah, we'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said I
And
think
you can
about
do
you.
touch and brand. All
Yeah.
the skin tone matching. There's a dedicated area for just skin tone matching. Color in Capture One is like, I don't know how to explain it, but when you talk about color, there's a whole dedicated aspect of the whole program for just color correction, color matching. And with that, they even have 3 different tabs dedicated to color: the basic, advanced, and then skin tone. I mean, you don't have to go to Photoshop and do all these. You just pick one area, and then slide.
It's telling you.
You just three sliders, and you're good.
And that's why I think about you, Mix. When I want
Okay.
this
All right. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it tonight. Evan,
Video.
I'll send you a screenshot. I'll buy it tonight. Okay. Are you guys happy now?
Try the 30-day
we
free
have-
trial. Do the 30-day free trial. But you see how you
Evans-
use that video.
Evans, it doesn't need 30-day trial.
Just buy it, right?
So you just buy it outright.
Oh man. All right. I'll give it a shot. And see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come back here and tell us, guys, I really regret not starting earlier.
Yeah.
Soldier.
Yeah, and Paul, you're a photographer too.
Yeah. Yes. But I'm not.
And
I don't do portraits though. I do more like city and like landscape stuff.
And from the way you're quiet, I'm sure you are a Lightroom person.
I'm definitely Team Lightroom. Yeah.
Team Lightroom, man. Team Lightroom.
Team Lightroom.
For even your kind of photography, Capture One has better processing. Well, I would say better, but it has
Being
ways
sold.
to make
I'm being
it
sold.
easy. Yeah, it's when it comes to high dynamic range, they have a dedicated tool just for that.
Okay, me and Mix are gonna check it out. We're gonna do a video, a vlog on it.
On you to get
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah. And like you to use levels in Lightroom, you have to definitely go to Photoshop.
Yeah,
right?
I don't use levels in Lightroom. I go to Photoshop.
Yeah.
And levels in Capture One, it works so well. I always use it. Like that's the first thing I use when I do my raw process. I use levels. There's a whole lot more in Capture One. If I start talking now, we'll go 3 days into this live.
Because it is sponsored by Capture One. We're waiting for a sponsorship. I can, so we'll gladly accept it.
The other says life is easier with Capture One.
But I think this is what I have noticed.
Thank you.
Most of the Capture One users are mostly people who shoot in the studio and do high-end, beauty portraits and stuff. You understand? And I have seen a lot of people who do outdoor stuff, more lifestyle, flowy stuff, who are just fine with Lightroom, and they could get as high as they can. You see, so
that's what I heard. But that's, I think, is a misconception. Now, people say if they want to do maybe studio or maybe beauty portraits, they use Capture One. But when it comes to events, they use Lightroom because with Lightroom it's easier. You just do one and then duplicate it on all of them.
Right.
That actually is easier in Capture One. I edit my weddings, my events, and I spend for an event. Let's say, and if with weddings, you're shooting about 1,000 pictures, and you need to bring the exclusives and all that. But let's say an event, let's say a birthday party, where everything is everything. I use about like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
That's being lazy to edit that whole project in Capture One. There is there. You can just do one, pick it up, and then
Copy and apply.
Yes, and apply to all of them. And even with that, there is when you're importing, there is you can apply default. So let's say you shoot weddings for you, Nick. You shoot weddings a lot, and you know that okay, for my wedding, most of them are maybe outdoor or this. So you already can predict how, and your shooting style. So you can predict that, okay, most I shoot maybe underexposed. So when I'm importing, I have a preset that's already, increases the shadows and all that. So once you're importing, it's applying all those things to the images. So when you go in, all you have to do is what? Maybe crop some parts off, and then some images might be maybe the settings didn't apply well. So you just adjust a bit of them, and that's all. It's even easier.
Yep.
Oh, told you. He
So
told you.
give it a try. Sheon was really he's the step that he does more weddings, but Capture One is mostly for portrait. I told him no. So now he's waiting for me to do a video on how to edit an event. Let's say an event of 1,000 pictures. It culling and all that it's way easier in Capture One. I've not used Lightroom, but I know
Okay.
it's easier in Capture One.
I have just deleted Lightroom off my Adobe subscription. So
No, you can't do that.
For me, right?
Cancel.
The thing that got me to look into Capture One was a couple of months, maybe about a year and a half ago. US had an issue with Venezuela, right? And so Adobe all of a sudden cancels the membership of everybody in Venezuela, no refunds, nothing. Because the US government says they can do business with Venezuela, right? And that got me thinking. So imagine if tomorrow the US government says they have an issue with Canada, so companies cannot. I know they can never do that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, Trump.
Canadian people, cannot do or US businesses do business with Canadian in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Then what happens? Adobe says, okay, we're shutting off Creative Clouds for Canada.
Oh man.
And then how do you open all your files? Right. That's what
Capture
got
One
me
is
looking into alternatives to Adobe products.
That's why I bought Affinity Photo some time ago. It's just there. I know I have it, so that in an emergency, if I cannot afford,
but all your files are still in Lightroom catalog. You got to find a way to bring them back into Affinity.
Well, no, but I have the original files. I always back up my original files before they get there. So, but my question is, okay, I understand you can save, settings on a picture and apply it to a whole lot, but can you save a ton of presets though? Because right now, if you go into my Lightroom, I have about
it's called styles.
Styles.
You save.
Okay.
You have styles, and then there are two styles, and one has to do with specific. Let's say if you do color work, you can save just the color work, and then there's another one that has to do with every edit. So if you do white balance, if you do cropping, if you do all those things, it saves all. So there's one that's like a specific edit. There's one that's all edits. So you can apply all edits you did. Let's say your full raw processing, you can save it as a style, or you can save only the color work, or only the cropping, or maybe only this. You get it? It's there. Just give it a try.
Try it.
He said, just give it a try.
He needs to apply for Capture One affiliates, man.
The thing is, Africa, and you know what I mean. So I can't apply, otherwise I'll end up getting arrested. So just give it. If you like, just
all right.
I'll take it, because these things you are saying, they are there. They are very easy to do. So with those ones, when you have those settings saved, even at the point of import, when you're importing. So let's say, Paul, you took some pictures of the city at night, and you know that, okay, these images, I intentionally underexposed them.
Right.
So when you're importing, you already want the exposure taken care of.
Right.
So you've done it for maybe a couple of images. So you save that particular setting there. Whilst importing, you can save yourself the hassle of going through each image after importing and then doing that. You can apply it at import.
At import.
Yes.
So I love it.
Let's say you have 100 images. Once they come in there, all you have to do is just go through and then see if it's okay, or you need to adjust it a bit. That's all.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm doing it, man.
Trust me. I've been using it for the last 2 weeks, and so far it's saving me a lot of time.
He needs his left to delete his Lightroom subscription.
It's more of like Lightroom is about to delete me.
Yeah. That was Adobe calling. Right now.
Mick, what is Adobe calling you?
You're like, hey, don't go, don't leave us alone.
Don't leave us.
But you know what's interesting though? I know I have a handful, at least like 20-30 people who are on my channel just for Lightroom. So I'm not gonna leave them hanging.
No, the good part
you
is,
don't quit. You just add it on. Right?
Add it. As Adam said, you can migrate your Lightroom catalogs to Capture. I mean, if you don't want this, what else do you want? You can easily migrate your Lightroom catalogs straight to Capture One. The only thing I think Capture One doesn't have yet, I don't know if Lightroom has it, but let's say you do bracketing. You won't be able to merge
directly in Capture One.
Three different exposures. You can't merge them in Capture One. I don't know if Lightroom has that, but I know Photoshop has it.
Lightroom has it.
Okay, so that's the only thing. But I'm sure with the
there's a couple of things that I think you can do. That's one of them. And then panorama, like when you shoot panoramas and you want to merge them, you can do that in natively.
Don't worry, I'm sure in the next 2 updates, they are not like Nikon. They don't disappoint.
Look at the trick. Look at the trick. Oh man, that's hilarious.
So if you're watching this, just give Capture One. If you're not sure, just get a 30-day trial. But I promise you will love it. And when you try and it works for you, tell others about it.
Yes, and I'll let people know that you guys convinced me.
For me, I will get them to make me an ambassador.
There you go.
I hope they will do that.
You know something? A few months ago, I was it was on a Facebook. I forgot which group, but there's this other photographer that I kind of like his work, and he was also rooting for Capture One. What's his name? Is it Prince Mason or so? Yeah, Prince Mason.
The Nigerian
guy.
He
jumped into the chat, and then he was over there. He was only one defending Capture One, and he had like 10 people from Lightroom, but he was fighting them like crazy.
I need to join that group.
Yeah, I have to find which group it was. Yeah, but then when he jumped in, the funny thing is he had a lot of supporters, so people were now sharing his images and were like, "Look at what he did with Capture One and stuff." So it was quite interesting. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, am I frozen? I think I'm frozen.
Nikon strike again.
Let me go switch my battery and then.
Oh man.
Awesome.
Hey guys, if you are here, don't forget, check out the description. I have everybody's links in there. The YouTube channels, the Instagram, IG is all in the description. Go check out the works. Beautiful stuff happening out there. So
always.
You know.
Always. Totally.
Now you know what?
Now it went dark.
You know what? The best defense I have for Lightroom is that Gavin, are you back?
I'm back. I'm right.
Here's the best defense I have for Lightroom. Okay, confession. While this show was going on, I edited about 4 or 5 pictures. I'm not kidding.
You can do it in Capture One.
You know, so every now and then I just move my hands here and then click. But yeah, I was just kidding.
Oh boy, it's been fun. So guys, like I was saying, check out the description.
Please.
All the links to YouTube, our YouTube channels, our Instagram accounts, they're all down in the description area. Don't forget, go out, check out everybody's work, check out Ganani's work. Like I said, great stuff out there too. I'm letting a lot of the retouching stuff from his channel right now. You know, check out Meek stuff, a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of retouching, Lightroom stuff. Now maybe he'll be doing Capture One stuff.
Well, not maybe, he will.
Check out Paul's channel. We do a lot of meetups and vlogs. You always see me on Paul's vlogs. So.
Everyone, you're like, hey, you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube.
Like Paul has inspired me to like start vlogging and just vlog and post.
My latest vlog is live now.
Yeah. For those of you on Ghanaianese channel, I always talk about Paul. That's the guy I always say, the one that made me realize that it's not about getting it perfect. Whatever you have, just keep pushing it out there. That's Paul. Paul just keep pushing me to pull it out. Don't wait for it.
I'll move on. Because you get into a rhythm.
Yeah. Before we move on, since we are all on YouTube, right? I have a quick question for you guys. Do you guys think that tags are important?
I have no idea. I don't know if tags work for me.
I like that. I like your answer.
Use them.
All right. Let me tell you something. Do you guys know about Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know that. Wait, do you know about him, Ghanaian?
Mr. Beast? No.
Mr. Beast?
No.
Okay. He's a YouTuber with about 40 million subscribers. And when he posts a video, within 2 days, he gets about 20 million views on his videos.
Wow.
All the time. And it's crazy stuff. He gives away money and stuff like that. Now, this guy, I just discovered him about 2 weeks ago. And then I was just looking at his stuff. And then, guess what? 4 years ago, he made a video saying that tags are irrelevant. He actually, what he did was live on the video. He posted a video without a title and a description, right? And then he put the tag. In the tags, he put ZZZXXX123, some random stuff.
Yeah.
And he put that, and he posted that video. He waited for a little bit, and then he searched for that ZZZXXX whatnot. Nothing showed up. Nothing showed up. Can you believe that this guy uses no tags, zero,
in his videos?
In his videos,
like from beginning.
From 2018 till today, even his most recent video, he bought an island and had 12 of his friends on the island, and they did some challenges, and the last person would win the island. It was like $700,000. But here's the thing: before he started spending that much money, this kid discovered that tags were just useless, and he stopped using tags.
Wait, are you talking about tags or keywords?
Tags.
Okay,
Tags.
I don't use tags. I use keywords.
The hashtags.
Yeah.
No. Well, then I'm talking about keywords. Then I'm talking about the tags, the one that you buddy suggests for you. And
yes, those are the hashtags.
Those are hashtags. No, those are keywords.
Those ones are the keywords.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah, but I just thought it was very interesting.
In front of them.
No, the hashtags, they are the ones that come in front of the video. That one,
yeah,
you
can put in the descriptions and stuff.
Yes, not that one. The tag, the video tags, the one that you can put up to like 500 words. Keywords, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. It's like everybody was doing this, and then this teenager discovered this, and now he's like 40 million subscribers, and it was just like crazy. Ain't no tag. I think what he does is that when he doesn't put any tags, the video is now being judged on a smaller number of preambles. I don't know if that makes sense. But whatever, he has cracked the code, and he's the only one in that space. Everybody's wasting their time tagging away.
I'll give it a try. Maybe my next video, I won't.
I don't think it would. I don't know, man.
No, I think he can afford not to do that because now he has that viewership, right? But what I put keywords and I'm able to search for my videos using some of the keywords.
Yeah. No, but he started somewhere, right?
Right.
And this video he made about not using tags was 4 years ago.
Exactly. He was small.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
But you know something? His videos, he doesn't have a niche. He doesn't have a niche at all. He makes random. It's crazy random stuff. Like, okay, I'm going to put the last time he spent $1 million on lottery tickets to see how much he will win. So he bought that much and had his friends in a room, and then they were all counting, and it was all being filmed live. And the other time he flipped through a dictionary and said, "Oh, prison." It's okay. I'm going to be in prison for 1 day. So I think because his videos doesn't have a niche, that might be the one thing that might help him still do well. But I thought it was interesting.
He's one in a million YouTube. Now.
Right. So, but there's one thing though. If you watch his video, you cannot stop. If you start it, you will finish it.
Yeah,
like he's a great storyteller. He doesn't leave any space. He doesn't milk anything. He just goes from point to point to point to point to point and done. Yeah, so all his view to be like 100% view, you know.
Yeah, that's what YouTube is, storytelling, right? And that's the
thing. Yeah,
of doing a video.
And just so you guys know, there's a new gimbal coming out.
Oh, gimbal master.
Yeah. Zoom Tech has been teasing that there's a new gimbal update coming up, and they were asking, "Can you guess?" And I said, "It's the Weebill S update." And I have a feeling it's coming out maybe by tomorrow morning, Thursday morning.
Wow! So we are going to have a video on the review. The first impression.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get my hands on one.
Awesome. Wait. But you see, the thing is, with most of these things that come out over here, it takes time for them to reach here. That's one thing. Also, because we don't have like places where we could test them before buying over here, so it's like word of mouth. One person buys maybe this one, we all see him use it, and we all go that line. Whether there are other ones or not, because this person is using this particular one. If it's Crane 3, we see somebody using Crane 3, we all buy Crane 3. Yeah. Because we can't afford to go buy Crane 2 and test it.
Yeah. So,
wait, Paul, did you just drop a video?
I just dropped it. I'm waiting to get off this live so I can.
Sorry, it's been long, guys. I just saw a notification. I'm like, I'm just dropping bombs. Going Capture 1, man. Oh man, I'm gonna do a live edit on Capture 1. All right, hey, sounds good, man.
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what? Having you on board.
Yeah, that's my next idea.
Yeah. All right, so the GMT guys needs to go to bed. So I want to
like 2 a.m. for you? Is it 2 a.m. for you right now?
It's 1:20.
Hey, it's pushing it. Yeah.
Really appreciate you for coming on.
But wait, you see, that's one thing about community.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like
we've been going for too long, eh?
Right. Yes, it's like we are all sitting in one room and chatting.
Yeah.
Until I watched the time, I didn't even know it was that late.
Paul, you checked out your video. That was 18 minutes ago you posted.
Wow.
That's cool. That's cool, Paul. I see you, Paul.
Wow.
Go click that link, man. Go click that link. Just wait video.
We have Paul's channel in the description of this video, right?
Yeah, it's in the description. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Paul, I'll check it out and then.
Please, thank you. Just wait till Evan's video coming up.
Yep, there's one of the workshop we did over the weekend coming up soon too.
Crazy.
Okay.
That's the one.
The Facebook group also.
Yeah. I will send you. Oh, it's on Meetup. I will send you that Meetup.
Meetup.com. Yeah.
Meetup.com. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, we'll send it.
No problem.
Yeah.
And WhatsApp too, right? No problem. No. Nick, I don't have your WhatsApp. Don't worry. We'll do that on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do that.
All right, guys. So thank you for watching us tonight. Any last words from you guys for our viewers today?
Yeah, I just I want to first of all, thank Gani for coming on, especially at such a late hour. And I think we should probably do this again at some point. I think
I'm open to this.
Yeah, I think
just once again. Let's do it often.
Yeah, man. I think that's what this show is for. It's about like learning and community and just like sharing ideas and like experience. So, and you have all of it. So, Yeah, man. Thanks. Really, really appreciate you coming on, and everyone go check out his stuff if you haven't in the audience.
Yep.
And Ghana, today Brian is not with us. He's a lot more fun than these other two guys. These two guys are boring.
If this is your definition of boring, then I'm going to Brian.
Wait, next time we'll have you on when Brian is around. Yeah, you have a blast.
No problem.
Brian.
No, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. It's awesome
interacting with you guys. Something different from what I'm usually the one appearing where Evans is. I'm usually the one appearing. It feels good to be down here.
Down there.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate. At the time Sheun was here, I was busily answering questions. I wish he was here now so we could do our little fights. I guess it's our work now. So
yeah. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, guys in the chats. Kojo Adam, Kim, Ben. You guys have always been here, and a special thank you for all you guys out there in the GMT time zone. Right, they are like 5 hours ahead of us, but they've stuck with us tonight. Truly appreciate you guys for being out there. So guys, go out and check out some of their content, great creators out there. A lot of us in the chat right now are YouTubers who are doing awesome work out there as well. So check out and let's keep growing. Let's keep learning together as a community of friends and creators as we go. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you next Wednesday on Open Shadows.
Yeah, and it's good morning from this side.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning, guys.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
All right.